Well, Stallions, Sony absolutely hates crossplay. They're very good at software optimization. They don't have a lot of cross compatibility with accessories. Basically, they are the Apple of the gaming world. Well, I guess Apple's kind of the Apple of gaming if you include mobile gaming and then also the Apple TV. I'm going to reveal today why Sony, especially with their PlayStation department, is absolutely the Apple of the gaming world, which has a couple of good applications, but primarily in practice is a bad thing. Let's get it. So during the recent lawsuit between Apple and Epic Games, one of the pieces of information that came out is Sony absolutely hates crossplay. We kind of knew this, it had been hinted around, but it was very much so solidified during the litigation process. Epic Games specifically mentioned, hey, it's not just Apple that's a bunch of assholes. Sony actually charges third-party game developers a commission, a kickback to utilize crossplay. No other company does that. Nintendo, PC, mobile phone gaming, they don't do that. Sony hates crossplay to the point to where if they think it's not going to make them money, even though they know that it is a good thing for consumers to be able to play with friends on other platforms. For example, you might like the controller and the user interface and the exclusives on Sony, and your buddy might like the way the Xbox is integrated with this PC and the fact that it has better support for old games with FPS boost. And then you have a friend that likes the Nintendo exclusives and likes the fact that that can be docked and be a portable console or a home PC. And then you got a buddy that can't afford a console period and he's on his cell phone. All of you guys can play together with crossplay. It is a good thing for everyone involved, primarily us, the consumer, the gamer. However, Sony hates it with such a passion to where if it's going to lose them a single cent, they actually charge an incentive bonus or a commission that a third-party developer, for example, this is happening right now with Borderlands 3. And if we look back with Fortnite, it was like pulling teeth for them to include crossplay with Fortnite. They were about 2 years behind integrating crossplay with their platform. They hate it. And when a developer says that they are not going to pay this little commission or kickback for having crossplay, for example, this is happening right now with Borderlands 3, Sony says, okay, cool, no crossplay from us then. And then they are the one platform that you cannot play on. Weird. The next way Sony is a lot like Apple is it is not very good at playing with other third-party companies when it comes to peripherals and accessories. Yes, there are companies out there that make paddle controllers and aftermarket headsets and stuff like that for the PlayStation. However, it is a much smaller ecosystem of aftermarket support in comparison to something like the Switch or the Xbox. Next up would be Sony is all about monetizing their customer on the back end. So after you've made your primary purchase of the console, which kind of integrates with my last point about them not having a lot of third-party support. Right now, if you buy the digital-only PlayStation 4, which a lot of people are for two reasons. One, it's $100 cheaper. They might not need a disc player. They might not need an Ultra Blu-ray player because they do not have a Blu-ray movie collection, and they do not have any disc-based PS4 or plan on getting disc-based PS5 games. But as of 2018, the only place for you to purchase digital-only games, and they sell a digital-only console, is through the PSN. There's a class action lawsuit going on right now, which we're going to mention. There's about 3 or 4 pending class action lawsuits against Sony. And this one is because it's generally 30 to 60% more expensive to purchase the same game on the PlayStation Network, which is the only place you can buy digital games. And if you have a digital only console, that's the only place you're playing these games. Sony knows that. They have people cornered in the market, so they charge 30 to 60% more for the same game. Yes, granted, PlayStation Network runs sales every now and again, but it is not as cheap as if you were to buy a digital card with a code that you type in to activate games like you used to be able to on the PlayStation 4 and still can do on the Xbox and the Switch. If you buy a digital version of a game on Amazon or Walmart where it's just the card, usually it's going to be a lot cheaper. Class action lawsuit. And then last but certainly not least, and this is actually a pro or a positive, a big old juicy thick boy positive for both of these companies, and it's one of the reasons that I do own Apple products. My daily driver is an iPhone 12, and then also I have a PlayStation 5. Granted, I have a Series S as well and a gaming PC, and I had a Switch at one point. Now waiting for the Switch Pro, Switch 2, or Super Switch, which by the way, most likely is coming out holiday of this year. And I'm also making another video right after this one as to why Nintendo is most likely going to make the official announcement about the Switch 2. within about 2 weeks. Both Apple and Sony with their console are very, very good at software optimization and having a solid architecture inside of their device to where they can have lower spec, lower performance hardware and still perform at the level, if not higher than their competitors. What do I mean? Well, the Series X is about 15 to 20% more powerful. If you look at the specs, stat by stat, component by component, the only component or part inside of the PlayStation 5 that is better or more powerful than the series is the storage, not the RAM, but the actual storage, that SSD in there, that weird 825 gig SSD, which is a smaller size than the 1 terabyte you're getting on the Series X, but it does have faster read and write speeds. So other than that though, CPU is at a more consistent, constant clock on the Xbox, not a base boost clock, and it's also faster. GPU performance, teraflop wise, more powerful on the Series X, but what we've seen from virtually almost every, it's damn near, I'd say 9 out of 10 games that we've seen and tested so far for both platforms has run just as good, if not slightly better on the PlayStation 5, which shows they have a very good architecture and the weaker components that they have communicate with each other better and are better software optimized. Same thing with the iPhone. You look at some of the Samsung, TCL, Sony, other Android compatible competitors, the flagship competitors, they have 8, even 16 gigabytes of RAM. iPhones have been on 4 and 6 gigs for the longest time, yet they run just as fluid and smooth and perform the same because they have such good software optimization to boost up their lack of hardware. So that is a very good thing. The next one is they're very, very user-friendly, easy experiences. There's not a whole lot of customization. They just work. They do exactly what you want them to do. The PS5 plays games well. The iPhone works as a phone really well and has good cameras, and you don't have to do a whole lot of tweaking or customizing. You want that, you go get an Android or an Xbox, which are also good products. So that's just a very, very user-friendly device. You just turn it on and it goes, it works. And the final one is that both of these companies are very, very big into their history, their legacy, and where they came from. For example, look at the brand new 21 iMac computers. They're a huge throwback to the old Macs that we had in school with the big colorful bubble butt. And Sony throws a whole bunch of Easter eggs into their new console. For example, Astro's Playroom, the entire game is basically a throwback to the ode, the legacy of the traditional PlayStation console. So for somebody like myself that, you know, has been around since the first PlayStation and has owned virtually every Sony console, home and handheld since the inception in 1994, and there's so many more examples of this, I can't think of them right now. I am recovering from surgery and I am on oxycodone currently, so there's that. But there are so many aspects as to why Sony is exactly like Apple. That's gonna do it, guys. Drop in the comment section below your opinion on this topic. Do you think Sony's like Apple? Do you think they're nothing alike? Do you love Sony and Apple? Do you hate Sony and Apple? We'll get a little conversation, a forum going down there in the comment section. That section is for you stallions and stallionettes to trot around a little bit. If you enjoyed this video, liking it helps it to get seen by more people, so this information can reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which we are growing, and we are growers, not showers around here. Subscribe for more content like this by turning that red subscribe button gray. Don't forget our hot friend, the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.